how do we get from a basic, off-the-shelf large language model to a really sophisticated AI application? Well, it's not about just waiting for the next bigger, better model to drop. It's all about the tools developers are using right now to build smarter, more capable, and frankly, more useful AI systems. You know that feeling, right? We've all been there. You ask what seems like a pretty simple question, and one of the world's most advanced AIs gives you an answer that is just confidently wrong, or maybe it's completely outdated. It's an experience that I think we've all had, and it points to a really fundamental truth about these models. You see, a base LLM, even a super powerful one, has some pretty serious blind spots. Its knowledge is basically frozen in time at its last training date, so it knows nothing about recent events. It doesn't have deep, specialized info for fields like medicine or finance, and this is a big one. It's totally trapped in a box. It can't check a website, use an app, or interact with the real world at all. So, how do we fix this? Well, the key idea here is that the future of AI isn't just about building a bigger brain. It's about having a smarter toolbox. We're shifting from just using a model to intelligently engineering an entire system around that model. So let's open up that toolbox and look at the 3 essential tools every AI developer needs today. First up, the most fundamental tool of them all. It's simply giving the AI better instructions. And this isn't about being polite, it's about being incredibly precise. It is the art and the science of prompting. Just look at the difference here. Asking an AI to summarize this document is basically a roll of the dice. You have no idea what you're going to get. But look at the specific prompt. You're telling it who the audience is, policymakers, and the exact format you need, 5 bullet points. That one little change transforms the output from a generic, maybe useless summary into a targeted, actionable brief. You're giving it context, a role, and a crystal clear goal. We can actually take this a step further with a technique called few-shot prompting. This is where you stop just telling the AI what to do and you start showing it. You give it a few examples of exactly what a perfect output looks like. It's kind of like giving a student a few solved problems right before an exam. It just instantly aligns the model to your expectations without any need for complex retraining. Okay, but what about really complex tasks? That's where something called prompt chaining comes in. Instead of writing one giant, complicated prompt that's a nightmare to debug, developers chain together a series of simpler ones. So, as you can see, first you have the AI pull out the key problems from a customer review. Then you use that output to create an outline. And finally, you feed that outline into a third prompt to write the final email. Each step is separate and controllable, which turns a messy process into a super reliable assembly line. So we've given the AI better instructions. That's great. But even the best instructions in the world can't fix a lack of knowledge. And that brings us to tool number 2, giving the AI its very own specialized, totally up-to-date library. This technique is called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. The best way to think about it is like this. A standard LLM has read, every public book in the world, but only up to the year 2023. RAG gives that model a special library card to a private, curated collection of the very latest documents, ensuring its answers are always fresh and based on reliable sources you control. Let's walk through how this works in a situation where you absolutely can't afford to be wrong, like medicine. A user asks about a new drug. Now, instead of just guessing based on its old training data, the RAG system first searches its private knowledge base of verified medical papers. Then, and only then, does it use those specific documents to generate an answer. It can even provide citations. This is how you stop the model from making things up and build real trust. And this insight right here really gets to the heart of why RAG is so incredibly powerful. I mean, think about it. You don't read the entire internet every time you use a search engine. You use an index to find the right page. RAG is that index for an AI. It's a targeted, super efficient way to find the right information at exactly the right time, making it an absolutely crucial tool for building AI you can actually rely on. Okay, so we've given our AI better instructions and a library full of current, correct knowledge. But information is one thing. Taking action is something else entirely. And that brings us to our third and most advanced tool, moving from just generating text to actually doing things in the world. This is a huge leap. A simple chatbot is like a helpful librarian. It can find information for you. It can tell you a refund policy is 30 days. An AI agent, on the other hand, is like a personal concierge. It doesn't just tell you the policy, it asks for your order number. It goes and checks the database, and it actually processes the refund for you. It sees a task through from start to finish. So how does an agent actually pull this off? Well, it's a system, with each part playing a key role. The prompts act as the overall strategy, the master plan. Memory gives it the context from the conversation so it doesn't get lost. And the tools? Well, the tools are its hands, its connections to the outside world, the APIs and databases it needs to actually get the job done. And here's where it all comes together. When you combine all three of these tools, prompting, retrieval, and agents, you get something truly revolutionary. You get a fundamental shift in how we build and even think about software itself. This is what some are calling the move from deterministic to fuzzy engineering. Let's break that down. Traditional software is deterministic, like a calculator. If you put in 2 plus 2, you are always going to get 4. It follows strict rules. Agentic software is more like managing a really talented employee. You give them a goal, like book me a flight to San Francisco, and they use their skills and tools to figure out the best way to do it. It's less about writing rigid rules and more about defining an outcome, which is way more powerful for messy, real-world problems. And why does this shift matter so much? Well, look at the real-world data. This isn't theoretical. By redesigning a complex financial process around a team of specialized AI agents, one company saw the time it took to get it done drop by up to 60%. That is the massive, tangible impact of building these kinds of intelligent systems. So, all of this leads to one single crucial takeaway. The race for better AI isn't just about who can build the biggest model on the planet. The most powerful AI is a well-designed system. It's a clever orchestration of prompts, knowledge, and tools all working together in harmony. The future of this field is not just building bigger models, it's about building smarter systems. And this really brings us to the ultimate question. For years, we've been focused on making AI that can think and write. But now, with these new tools, we're building AI that can finally act. So what new problems can we solve? What new frontiers will that allow us to explore?